Hey everybody, it's Beth. Welcome to Infinite Garden. This week I thought I would share a 2.5-year check-in since I stopped dyeing my hair. If that sounds interesting to you, please stay tuned. I'm trying something new. I'm actually sitting on my floor with my camera on a little mini tripod just to see how that feels. Normally I'm sitting in a chair upright in kind of a formal way, and I thought it might feel good to sit on the floor, cross-legged and just sort of relax into this a little bit. I wanted to talk a little bit about where my head is now, 2.5 years in. The first thing that I wrote down, I was doing some journaling on this to kind of get a sense of where my head was, and the first thing I wanted to talk about was the length. So 3 years ago, before I started this transition, my hair was about as long as it had ever been. I'd started wearing my hair really, really long. I was already blonde, and ahead of my transition, I had my stylist do a ton of extremely bright platinum highlights, which badly damaged my hair. And so shortly after that, I had my hair cut as short as I ever like to have it. Anyway, since then, and during all of the transition, I've been wearing my hair quite a lot shorter than I'm comfortable with. But at 2.5 years, I'm a lot closer. I'm in my comfort zone. I'm still hoping to grow my hair out quite a bit longer, especially when I wear my hair curly. I know every time I wear my hair curly, I get so many really nice comments about it. I personally feel the most like myself when I'm wearing my hair in its naturally curly state, but when my hair is very long and enormous. It's like my favorite version of myself is having a huge, very curly mane of hair kind of going in all directions. And I'm still a little bit of a ways off on that. I bet maybe in 6 months I'll be a lot closer to that. It might take another year. So for those of you who are maybe in the early days of your journey or are considering a gray hair transition, I can confirm that for me, and my hair grows really fast, I can confirm for me, it took about 2.5 years to get to the point where I was fully transitioned and my length was sort of where I wanted it. I don't know how that compares to other people, but that was my experience. In January, I posted a 2-year check-in, and in that video, I shared how surprised I was to find that my confidence had really gone up since the transition. And I have to say that that's only increased since January. Since that time, I've only gotten more comfortable with my hair, and because, like I said, it's longer, which is more of my personal comfort zone. I'm also out and about more. I think a lot of people are compared to the previous few years. So I'm also, putting outfits together where I'm incorporating my hair and putting makeup looks together with it. And I'm just getting more and more used to it. What I can also say for sure is that I'm feeling more like myself than I have in years. It's amazing for me to think about how long it was since I felt that way, and for how many years I was sort of exploring maybe an artificial or fantasy version of myself. My dog is really confused by me sitting on the floor, so she'll be a presence throughout this whole video. Now that I feel more like myself than I have in years, it's kind of like sad and amazing to look back at the past 15 years that I was dyeing my hair and to realize that really was a period of time where I was not feeling like myself. And this return to it now has been potent and really healing. I'm finding that now that I'm a little bit more in touch with who I am naturally through this gray hair transition, I'm finding that I really like myself more than I thought I would. I think there are different ways that we can have relationships with hair dye. I can break it into 2 major categories as I see it. There are people who use hair dye to alter their appearance into something that makes them feel more like themselves, and they love it. It's a form of self-expression, and it's a form of self-care to dye their hair. I wasn't in that category. For me, I dyed my hair because I felt like I was forced to. Although my stylist made it look great and we always had a nice time, it was a coercive relationship. And now that I have affirmed myself, myself as I am naturally, and allowed myself to set the dye down for a long time, for these 2.5 years, I'm realizing that I didn't have any reason to hide myself, that I'm perfect as I am just as you are perfect as you are. On a more practical level, I'm finding that I need way less product. I'm used to using conditioners and masks and oils as a way to heal the damage from bleaching and processing my hair. So in my mind, when I grab a bottle of product or a bottle of oil to pump out, in my mind I have a sense of how much I should be using, and it's way more than I need. And so now that my hair is dye-free and totally healthy, I can dial back the consumption of really good hair products. So I'm finding that like my hair just in general is a lot easier to shampoo and condition and style. It just is a whole lot healthier, and I'm loving that. When I was young, I remember celebrating my beloved grandmother's birthday. She said something that stuck with me. She said, eventually, after enough birthdays, you reach the point in your life where you're just you. Even as a child, I knew what she meant. I can't say yet for sure if that's what I'm experiencing, but I do feel like I'm closer to that than I ever have been. I feel a lot closer to just being me. In just a few weeks, I'll be having my 44th birthday, and I have to tell you how much gratitude I feel for this life and for this journey. The last few years have been very difficult for everybody, and I have a feeling that the next few years will be difficult as well. All signs, at least in the United States, sort of indicate that we have more difficult years ahead of us. And I am grateful at this time to be standing in my peace and standing in my power exactly as I am, ready and able to use my voice as I see fit and when needed. There's no doubt in my mind that this gray hair transition has in part led to this increase in confidence and sort of determination inside of me. This sense of freedom and determination welling up inside of me is stronger than it ever has been, and I'm grateful for that. I also wanted to say thank you so much to everyone who has been with me on this journey. The experience of making these videos and sharing them with you has been an incredible journey for me as well, and a privilege and an honor. I wanted to thank all of you so much for watching my videos and for sharing your positive energy. It's very encouraging to see women all over the world kind of awake to the consciousness that you are perfect exactly as you are. I hope you enjoyed watching my check-in while I sat on my floor in my living room. I hope you're all doing well out there, and I hope you have a great week ahead. Thank you so much for watching. Talk soon.